Hello everybody. So this video is entitled AI Sell-Off. Has it gone too far? And I obviously want to address Micron and Nebius again in this video. But first, let me begin. I'm currently traveling. I'm currently in Southeast Asia, which is an awful time difference with the US to follow the market. And of course, the last thing I want to do is read about the headlines of the Middle East, which, I've gotten way worse. Way worse. They've gotten really bad. And look at Kobe's letter here. 30-year mortgage back to 6.5%. Lost decade for assets is what this decade is. It's a lost decade. People have been sitting on houses for 6 years now. It's endless. It's absolutely endless. The nonsense of this market continues, which is why I want to say this. I make this video. I try to have discipline, make daily videos, but I should rather say enjoy the summer. Come back in September, or maybe let's come back in 2029, maybe, or something like that. Because this market makes very little sense. You have Apple, a company with zero growth. Sure, a little bit. Sure, they raised their prices because memory went up. So a few devices they raised prices, but a company with essentially zero growth. A company that has been resting on its laurels since 2014. A company that's mostly a buyback story, mostly a financial engineering story. People say, "Oh, I don't like strategy MSTR because financial engineering." Apple is the same story. They buy back their stock. It's trading. It's more expensive than Nvidia. This is ridiculous. Nvidia is the cheapest Mac 7 out there. It's trading at 0.42, 127. Nvidia is dropping. So many AI stocks are dropping right now. Why are they dropping? Because apparently China dropped a cool model. Okay. You're still going to need hardware, right? Hardware is still going to be very much needed. It's okay to have competition between China and the US. Okay, China seems to be doing good on a new model. Okay, well, maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, Anthropic releases a new model. Back and forth. That's okay. This market just wants to sell everything off. This market is so macro-driven, headline-driven. Over the long run, the market is a weighing machine, but we need to change that quote. Over the very long run, the market is a weighing machine, because the market has not weighed stocks for certain stocks in 6 years, 5 to 6 years. The market has not granted a fair valuation to certain stocks. And I wake up, I see this evening. I see what I see. SoFi still way down. So many stocks. Par for the course, the past 2 to 3 days down between 10 and 20% for most growth stocks. So anyways, I'm so grateful that it's night here when the U.S. markets are open. I'm quite grateful about that. So anyways, going back to the elephant in the room here, there's 2 stocks that I really like. As you know, on this channel, I've covered them more in depth before. Well, not Micron. I haven't covered Micron in depth, but I will, because at 8.55 now, I have to cover Micron in depth. Micron is under 900. 900 was my buy zone. At 8.55, I find Micron extremely compelling. For Nebius, 177. It's a gift. There's no other way to say it. It's a gift. I'm at 177. I never thought we would go back down this low. And so many other stocks are like that. I could tell you about Tesla. Tesla 377, 378 was it earlier? It's ridiculous. This market, this market has been ridiculous. So, anyways, I find them very compelling. Am I buying? I'm certainly not buying today, because I'm not gonna give this market any respect. This is absolutely nonsense. The nonsense could continue. The market is trading on vibes. It's trading on casino. It's not on the casino as a casino. It's not really trading based on fundamentals. This makes very little sense that you have these valuations collapse so quickly. And the case in point about it making no sense. So you may remember in my video, I made the point back then that when Micron was at 950, the PE was something like a forward PE was like a 5 or 5.5. I did a back of the napkin math on the PE, on the forward PE of Micron. Now we're like in the low 4 on a price to earnings ratio. Forward, think about that. They're gonna make so much cash next 12 months at Micron, and it's trading at a P of 4, the forward P of 4. The market is nonsensical. This is not the only one who's nonsensical, right? So Nebius, it wanted to grant Nebius a valuation of like 280, was it, or 290? Okay, it lost 30% in no time. And then, I want to point out many of the Bitcoin miners. So Bitcoin has been roughly flat. Well, it's been down since the beginning of the year, but mostly flat. These have all pivoted to AI, right? They're all pivoting to AI. They have access to energy. Energy is very expensive. Energy is very valuable. They have this special access. And if you look at Samara, hasn't moved. The stock hasn't moved in 6 months. In many, many years, these stocks haven't moved. So the market needs to come back. The market needs to be a weighing machine. But the summer doesn't seem to be the moment where the market is a weighing machine. And this is how we end up with valuations. That makes absolutely no sense. Nebius is 0.15 on my spreadsheet. You have Micron, who's a 0.13 on my spreadsheet. And then surprisingly, you have over stocks that are super expensive, which I don't know why, like AMD, for example. I don't know why AMD is so expensive. AMD is twice as expensive as NVIDIA. Can somebody explain to me? I didn't put it in there, but Broadcom is actually 6 times more expensive than Micron. This valuation is this market is all over the place. The market has never looked more like a casino. In my view, to invest in this market, the time horizon now, as of now, the time horizon is 2030 and beyond. 2030 and beyond is the time horizon. I wouldn't touch any stock if I didn't want to hold it until 2030 and beyond. But that's just me, right? Anyways, this is not investment advice. This is not financial advice ever on this channel. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you're entertained. You were entertained. Please enjoy your summer. Let's not let the market take the best of our well-earned time off. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.